Ever feel like you're just not being heard in meetings? Or maybe you're struggling to even jump into the conversation? Well, you are not alone. In this explainer, we're going to give you a super practical foundational toolkit to get you off the sidelines and right into the heart of the discussion. Let's get into it.
You know that feeling, right? We've all been there. You're sitting around a table, you have this fantastic idea, but the words just get stuck. It feels like you're on mute while the whole conversation just rushes right past you. It's so frustrating, but believe me, it is an incredibly common feeling.
But what if I told you that a few simple tools could totally change that experience for you? Over the next few minutes, we're going to build your very first meeting toolkit. We're talking the exact phrases and the core skills you need to finally jump in and participate with real, genuine confidence.
All right, so where do we start? Well, at the very beginning, of course. A really strong opening sets the tone for the entire meeting. It's all about creating that sense of clarity and purpose from the very first minute.
Think of it like a super simple 3-step launch sequence. First, you just cut through any chit-chat and get everyone's attention with a clear, "Let's start the meeting." Bam. Then, you immediately get everyone on the same page by saying, "Today's topic is," and finally, you open the door for everyone to engage right away with, "Any questions?" See? It creates instant structure and focus. And look, the power here isn't just about being formal. When you use a structure like this, you're sending a really clear, unspoken message. You're saying, "I value your time, and I promise this discussion is going to be productive." You immediately come across as organized and ready to go. Okay, so the meeting is started, the topic is clear, now what? How do you actually jump in? This is your moment to contribute. So let's look at the simple but super effective phrases that'll get your ideas out of your head and into the conversation. This is your absolute go-to, I think. It's so direct, it's clear, and everybody understands it. But more than that, it's collaborative. You're presenting your idea as a perspective to be talked about, not some command to be followed. And that makes people way more open to hearing what you have to say. Now, if you want to sound a little more formal, try this one on for size. "In my opinion." This phrase just adds a little bit of professional weight. It kind of signals that you've really thought about the point and you're owning it as your viewpoint. This is especially powerful when you're talking about something subjective.
So here's the bottom line, really. These phrases, they are literally the keys that unlock the door to participation. They're simple, they're practical, and they are the actions that will shift your role from just a passive listener to someone who is actively shaping the entire discussion.
Okay, now let's zoom out a little bit. We've talked about specific words, but let's get to the 2 golden rules that make everything else actually work. Think of these as like the operating system that's running in the background of every single successful meeting. You know, it really just boils down to these 2 pillars: how you send information out and how you take information in. Polite communication is all about your delivery. It's the packaging, right? It makes sure your message lands well. And listening skills, that's all about your intake. It's what makes sure that brilliant idea you have is actually relevant and builds on the conversation. They're 2 sides of the exact same coin. And just think about the payoff for each one. Look, being polite isn't about being weak. It's a strategy. It's a power move to make other people receptive to what you're saying, even if it's a challenging idea. And active listening? That isn't passive at all. It's a tool for gathering intelligence so you can find that perfect moment to make your point, perfectly timed and right on topic. Master these 2 and your impact will absolutely skyrocket. All right, we have covered a lot of ground here, so let's do a quick recap and put all the pieces of your new toolkit together in one place. So here's the whole toolkit in a nutshell. To start things off, you've got "Let's start the meeting," and today's topic is. To share your thoughts, you have "I think" and "in my opinion," and holding it all together, those core skills, politeness and listening. This is your foundation. This is what you need to walk into any meeting feeling confident. But you know, maybe the biggest takeaway from all of this is a shift in how you think about meetings. An invitation to a meeting isn't just a summons to sit there and listen quietly. It is an active opportunity. It's a platform for you to share your unique insights, to influence decisions, and to really show your value to the team. So I'm going to leave you with a little challenge. What is the one idea, just one, that you will commit to sharing in your very next meeting? Your contribution really matters, and now you have the tools to make sure it gets heard.